On trail I breathe in slow, footsteps rhythm with a hopeful glow. Every crest a lesson soft and true, growing stronger as the daylight grows. Fit mind, fit heart, fit body, rise. Oh, we climb these hills under open skies. Oh.
Hey Fit Fam, this is Kiana F. Brown, your forgiveness expert. Welcome to our first episode of Fit Mind, Fit Spirit, Fit Body. And I'm so excited for this new journey that I'm embarking on. Excited for you all to come and join me. Excited to have the conversations in nature, to get with the different people who have already said yes. So those of you who have already said yes, I just want to thank you so very much from the bottom of my heart. And so in this podcast, what's different is from the other ones, that I usually talk about forgiveness and I'm sharing my heart and things of that nature. I'll still be sharing my heart. It'll be around forgiveness and some other things and journeys and questions and topics and just things of life. In the first episode, I want to talk about deconstructing. Deconstructing. When you think about the topic of deconstructing, it it's just unlearning the things that you thought were correct, unlearning the things that people embedded into your heart and in your mind. And you was like, oh, because grandma said it, because this person said it, this is the way to go. Well, I've learned over these 45 years that just because somebody said it and made it a gospel unto them does not mean that it's the truth. And so I wrote just a little bit down about what deconstructing is. And there are three things that stood out to me. It's our thoughts, our patterns, and our desires. And so those are areas around our life that we ultimately need to deconstruct different areas. When we think about things, the thoughts, I wrote, what we think or knowledge comes from what was taught to us, what became embedded in us. Many of you know my journey and my story of incarceration. Um, when I had just turned 21, I was in a relationship, a long-term relationship where I was in an sex relationship. Um, I have been delivered from that lifestyle. For me, my walk and my journey, I know that God has not desired for me to live in that capacity. And so I'm okay to be set free. And, but that relationship led me to incarceration. It led me to 4 years in and 3 years on paper. And as a result of that, there were some things that, or some perceptions that I had based around God and my relationship with Him. And it was all based upon the principles that my grandmother taught me. And I'm not saying that those principles were incorrect. I'm not saying any of that. But what I did was took them all as the gospel instead of actually going to read the gospel, Mark, Luke, all of them, those guys. But yeah, so I had to deconstruct what I believed and had to develop a relationship with Christ on my own. And so that was merely the journey or the beginning of the journey where I was like, okay, I'm learning this walk with Christ for myself. And I would like to say that when I came home, I was on the straight and narrow path. But most definitely I wasn't, because I'm Kiana. I like to deter from the road. I like to go in the nature. I like to be wild and to be free. And so as a result of that, I did not keep my promise to God. I did not keep my promise to myself. And that's one of the things that I had to learn, to work with myself and be patient with myself in, and ask God for forgiveness of my sins and my distractions, my deterrents, and things of that nature. And so I had to deconstruct the thought that I was not worthy of God loving me, that I was not worthy of having a peaceful life. A lot of people will say, you're living out there in sin, you're doing this, you're doing that. And, as a person who's learning, to love God and trust God and walk with God for themselves, it might make them feel like they're unworthy. And so a lot of my mindset was, coming back to Christ, I kind of felt unworthy. I repented, I asked for forgiveness, and I said that I was going to walk a new life, and I didn't. When I came home, it stuck with me for a little bit, but then after that, I went back out into the world. I felt that I was missing something. Um, and so I veered off my path. But because we serve a God that is mighty, that is awesome, that is amazing, I was able to get back on path. And so all of the things that were embedded in me, instilled in me from different people, things that I heard, we pick up things in passing and hearing them, and then they ultimately become a part of who we are. And we have to learn to deconstruct those thoughts, especially if they are not serving us in a season that we're meant to walk in. The second thing was patterns, the ways in which we do things. So some people would call me Perfect Patty, a person that I know that has been with me around during my lifetime in this journey. And I'm not going to say that I'm a perfect Patty, but I like for things to be in decency and in order. I like for them to be done a certain way. And what God dealt with me in many areas of my life is deconstructing that perfect vision, that perfect thought, um, what perfection looks like. I've come to learn that I cannot walk in perfection, but I can walk in progress, right? So I have to get into the mindset of learning to disassociate myself with perfection and learn that everything is not going to be perfect. Um, my life is not perfect. My marriage is not perfect. I'm not the perfect mother. But what I can say is, in deconstructing that thought pattern, is that I am aiming for progression, not perfection. Meaning that I am aiming to rise above whatever is around me in my orbit, and being okay with it. Being okay with the fact that I'm not going to show up on time to everything all the time. Being okay with when I am mothering my child, who is now a teen, that I've never been a mother before him. And I'm not going to be perfect at everything. And so learning that even if I give him a task or tell him something, going back to be able to apologize to him if I'm incorrect, and not have the perfect mindset like I'm the parent. What I said is right. It's gospel. It's golden. It's the rule. It's not, because I'm not perfect. So just learning how to progress in that area. A business owner, an entrepreneur. There's sometimes where I'm not right with my clients. I gotta apologize. There's sometimes there are things that don't go right within business, and I have to apologize. Even though I want to be right, I'm not always right. And so just learning how to deconstruct those thoughts within myself. Um, Deconstruct what I've learned in ministry. Hmm. That's been a tough one for me. Deconstructing the different principles that I've been taught from the many ministries that I've been a part of, and learning to be in a ministry between me and God. What does that look like? Me listening to Him, me abiding in Him, me deconstructing the way that I have to go to Him, um, demanding things. Just learning that in all things, if I lift Him up first and place Him first, that He will work things out for me. all things, not some things, but all things, and deconstructing the mindset in the relationship with him that I'm not worthy. Last thing, deconstructing my desires. That is a big one for me in this season that I'm walking in right now, because we can desire to want a lot of things, but are all of those things the desires that are going to advance me in my mindset? Are those going to be the things to advance me in my spirit and ultimately in my body? This journey of healthiness has come in a season of my life. Then I'm in season 45, y'all, season 45. Um, my desires are altogether becoming different. My desires are to be able to exist in a world that is full of chaos and have peace surrounding me. Like, we can turn on the TV, we can turn on the news, and it's just so much stuff going on. And while still desiring to want elevation, it kind of seems, for me, it seems off. I only want to desire what God wants me to have. I want to desire what and who He wants me to be. And as I sit in His living room, God's living room outside, you all know that I call nature God's living room. I'm just desiring to be in a place of peace in my mind, my spirit, and my body, knowing that ultimately I don't have control over anything that's external. Shoot, I don't even have control over sometimes the things that are internal, right? Our bodies can come up with illnesses and we doing everything, right? One of the things that has been challenging for me in this season is trying to do everything that I can do to avoid sicknesses like cancers and things like that. And there have been many years in my life where I have put into my body things that have not belonged. And that could possibly start ailments and things of that nature. But right now I'm trying to do everything to abort that. And those are my desires. And I'm praying to God that I'm not overdoing it in that area. Because sometimes to have a healthy mind and a healthy body and a healthy spirit, we can make anything an idol. Anything can become an idol. And I don't want, for the progression of my life, to uphold anything in a position of idolatry. So, with that being said, my desire is to have that fit mind, fit spirit, and fit body, but not at the cost where it's going to take my heart away from God, to take my heart away from just even existing in life. So, y'all, I'm going to wrap this intro up of this first podcast. And I'm excited for, again, all of the people who have said yes to Fit Mind, Fit Spirit, Fit Body. I thank each and every person who's encouraged every post that you have seen of me working out for the past 4 years, getting to where I am. It has not been an easy journey. But let me tell you, this walk that I just did was phenomenal. Why? Because I was able to see, after deconstructing the thought that I couldn't get here, to now be here in this position, to feel able-bodied, to move and to run at will, not just to be a thought, like I want to run. It's not just a thought, because I can get up and I can actually run. Like, I can run, y'all. And I'm just grateful for this journey, and I'm grateful for the adventures that are going to come, the conversations that are going to happen, the healing that is going to take place, the aha moments that will come to pass, and just enjoying God's living room, to get out in the sun and to envelop yourself in God's peace. Blessings and love unto you all until we meet again. This is episode 1 of Fit Mind, Fit Spirit, Fit Body. I'm your host, Kiana F. Brown, and I pray that you're able to deconstruct those thoughts. Those thoughts that especially don't belong with you. Those thoughts that are not going to help you grow, not to a place of perfection, but to a place of progression. All right, love you all. Be blessed until we meet again. Fit mind, fit spirit, fit body, fit fam. I'll see you soon.
On the trail I breathe in slow, footsteps rhythm with a hopeful glow. Every crest a lesson soft and true, growing stronger as the daylight grows. Fit mind, fit heart, fit body, rise. Oh, we climb these hills under open skies. Oh, growth in every heartbeat, steady and slow.